I remember about 1 year ago was when the peak of my procrastination was the most obvious. Like, I was just peaking in procrastination. Like, if you told me to do something, I'd do it at the last minute, but I'd get it done anyways. Fast forward to about like a few months ago, after I finished this book. I'll get to it later. I think my productivity definitely has actually skyrocketed. Why? So without further ado, this is a full deep work or flow, whatever you want to fucking call it, productivity guide. How to accomplish more in 1 week than most people do in one fucking year. Okay, let's get started. So this book I happen to read is Deep Work by Cal Newport. Most of you have probably heard of it before, but haven't really read it. So I'm going to give you as much value as possible. I'm going to try to pack it into less than 20 minutes or 15 minutes-ish so that you can absorb most of it and fucking implement it. Okay, so environment is key. That is the first thing that deep work teaches us. It doesn't say it explicitly, but it is implied. So having a proper environment. What the fuck is that? Having the perfect environment is very important. The right environment where you're not fucking distracted, where you don't have people just fucking distracting you from doing what is most vitally important at hand right now, which is most likely the piece of work you've been procrastinating on. So in order to get that done, you probably hole yourself up in an environment where you won't be distracted. So pick the motherfucking right environment where you won't go on smoking the za with your friends, or where you won't go on like fucking wasting a lot of time scrolling through TikTok because like you feel like it. Get into an environment where you will feel productive and you will be productive. Get rid of distractions. Cal Newport, he highly preaches this. Like the open office design concept, if you think about it, like at Apple, at Google, like these FANG companies in Silicon Valley. Yes, they allow the exchange of ideas, but they encourage a lot of fucking distractions. If you think about it, email is a distraction itself. You go onto email, you're like, oh, I have a few emails I haven't replied to, and then sorry, is you end up replying to emails for 2 fucking hours. You've just wasted 2 fucking hours of your life doing something that you probably could have done in like 10 minutes if you just waited at the end of the day to reply to your emails, and then bada bing, bada boom, boom, pow. I don't think you need music either, because music is just gonna make you fucking start dancing, and then it's just gonna make you focus on the music instead. No, you want to focus on one thing at a time, which is the most vitally important thing at hand in the present moment right now, which might be the essay you're working on, might be the motherfucking homework you're supposed to do, or might be the studying you're supposed to do for that exam for tomorrow, or might be the video you have to record, or might be the YouTube editing you have to do. So do that instead of getting motherfucking distracted. Then you're ding chilling, okay? Have an accountability scoreboard. Let me say that again. Have an accountability. Cut this out, Brian, please. Have an accountability scoreboard, and don't mind the noise downstairs. Okay, like it's just the people I'm keeping downstairs that I've kept for the past month. Okay, that was a joke. Have an accountability scoreboard. What does it do? Think of this. Since I'm working alone, most likely because Andy doesn't want me to fucking get distracted, I don't really get much motivated. I get motivated with my friends, Andy. I need an accountability partner. Well, motherfucker, you have an accountability partner, but an accountability scoreboard instead. What is an accountability scoreboard? Well, I'm going to show you right now. It is literally a tally of all the things, of all the deep work sessions I've gone through in the past week. The flow, the sessions that I've gone through. What this does is it keeps me competing against my biggest competitor, which is myself. So I'm comparing myself against myself so I can consistently improve on a consistent basis. So that's the tally. So these are like 90-minute or 60-minute to 90-minute blocks. Each one represents one of those. That's my accountability scoreboard. You know, I just finished my other notebook, so this is a new notebook. So my accountability scoreboard is kind of small right now, but it'll grow. I don't care where you keep your accountability scoreboard, as long as you can have access to it easily, that's fine. You have motherfucking David Goggins next to you 24/7. That's fucking incredible. Imagine David Goggins next to you 24/7. You are going to be the most motherfucking productive person on the planet. So, have that keep you accountable and competing against yourself so you get shit done. It's fun. Set deadlines. Okay, this is by far the most motherfucking important part. Set deadlines. Okay, this part of the video might be the longest. Set deadlines. How do you go about doing that? How do I go about setting... Okay, have you ever wondered why? So let's say you have two people, right? Jessica and fucking Ashish, right? Jessica crams the day before for the 3,000 word essay. Or let's take Andrew and Ashish. Andrew crams 10 hours and he puts out a pretty decent essay anyways. Let's say you have Andrew, but he's gone through this video and he's set deadlines for himself. And he gets it done like a week before, but he takes like 2 weeks to write it-ish. 10 hours compared to 2 weeks, they're gonna put out about the same quality of content in their essay. They're gonna put out the same quality of essay, if you think about it. They're both gonna get an A on it. Now, it's just a matter of which one has the most stress, which one is going down a downward spiral of fucking stress and anxiety. I'm gonna tell you it's the Andrew that hasn't watched this video. He's going down a downward spiral of fucking negativity and just fucking depression. That is a lot of stress, but why is that? Why is it that they're putting out very similar quality? Well, it's because one has set a really big deadline or has given themselves enough time or a set amount of time to do something. Now, albeit it's a natural deadline, right? If they don't do it, they probably fail the fucking course or whatever, or they lose points if they submit it late. They don't want that. So what? They have this natural deadline set in place. Now, you could utilize this to your advantage. You can set an artificial deadline. Okay, I don't like the word artificial. Let's say you can set a natural deadline too. Okay, give yourself a set amount of time to do something in deep work, in a flow state, which is focus state, and time flies when you're in a flow state. And you can equally utilize the power of deadlines to your advantage. How do you do that? Well, what I like to do in order to stimulate this, to get a deadline going so that I can get a lot of work done, equally a amount of work done. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Moore's Law, but like you can look into it. So you're going to take up as much time as you give yourself to do. So why not use that Moore's Law to your advantage? What I like to do, I like to have 3 headlines written down in my notebook whenever I'm about to start a deep work session or productive session. I write goal, lead, scoreboard, and I underline everything. I add like a bit of space between each. Goal, what am I setting to accomplish? What am I going to accomplish this session? What am I gonna motherfucking do? Because most of the time what we do is we don't even know how to study or what to study. So figure out what you're gonna fucking study first or accomplish first. Then lead. Lead is the measure in which you measure yourself. Okay, how the quality of the session. The lead is how many minutes, most often, you're gonna spend in flow or deep work. Let's say you spend 60 minutes or 90 minutes in deep work. That is the sweet spot I find personally. 60 minutes, 90 minutes, that is often enough to get the motherfucking goal done that you set for yourself. What this does is it creates an artificial deadline for you, a natural deadline, let me rephrase, and it keeps you accountable. Now, scoreboard, I like to check it off, and then I tally one of them on my scoreboards. What this does, I'm fucking productive when I do this. I can utilize the motherfucking Moore's Law, I forget, whatever, I use it to my advantage. Then what? Let's say, goal, I want to get 500 words of this essay done. Lead, 60 to 90 minutes of deep work, or let's say 90 minutes of deep work. I'm going to get 500 words in 90 minutes done. Scoreboard, tick it off. I hold myself accountable. I tally one, and if I don't do it, I feel fucking terrible. If I don't accomplish this in this set amount of time, I feel fucking terrible. I'm going to challenge myself, and I do it. 90 minutes later, time flies, okay? I'm literally done 500 words. Or even I'm close to getting done 500 words. I'm like 440 words done. That's more than you could ever fucking imagine. Like if you were to, do this like a month earlier. Like people have the biggest difficulty starting something. Now, what this does is it initiates you to get fucking started, and it gets you to get a set goal done in set amount of time. You set yourself literally a deadline for you to follow, and you use Moore's or Murphy's motherfucking law to your advantage. And let me tell you, studies have shown the more time you spend in flow. What is flow state? It's flow is when you're just absolutely focused, and then time literally flies away when you're focused on this task. 2 hours goes by and it doesn't feel like 2 hours went by. That is flow state. That's deep work state, whatever you want to fucking call it. Studies have shown that when you enter this state, your body releases a shit ton of happy hormones. Your body releases a shit ton of good chemicals in your body. You feel amazing. I'm going to tell you, if you implement these things I just taught you today, you're going to be the happiest you might have been in the past year, 2 years, 5 years of your life. Because you've entered flow state so many times in the past, on a day-to-day basis, on a consistent basis, you feel fucking amazing. Because you feel you've accomplished something. You feel you've got something going on for you in life. That is a good feeling. You're welcome. Get out of here. Hey, remember, if you want to see the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Peace.